Okay, so now it's time to do something I haven't done in a little while. I'm going to be taking another political compass test. Yep, this one I just actually found out recently. I don't know exactly how it works, but actually, no, I think I got it now. But I just recently heard about it, but I wanted to take it. I'm going to be taking the SapplyValues test. If you don't know what this is, it's a political compass test. It's not the political compass, but it's kind of like a combination of the political compass and the 8 values test, which I've taken on this channel before. I'll put a link to those down below or at the end of this video. But yeah, let's just get started. It's going to tell me where I stand, left, right, authority, liberty, and progressive, conservative. I think you already know where I'm going to stand, but let's just take this test anyway, and here we go. All right. Do you want to do it shuffled or unshuffled? Yeah, I'll just do it shuffled. Why not? All right. Society requires structure and bureaucracy in order to function. Well, in some cases, yeah, I think so. But at the same time, the bureaucracy can be very corrupt. And, we live in a crony capitalist system where the people in government are people who do favors for the politicians that appoint them. So I think, yeah, but it definitely needs to be reformed. So I'm going to go with neutral on this one. An individual's body is their own property and they should be able to do anything they desire to it. Strongly agree. This applies both to like abortion and drug use. I strongly agree with that. It is human nature to be greedy. Yeah, I think it is. But when you have such unfettered, unregulated capitalism, there definitely needs to be restrictions on that. But I can definitely understand. Yeah, I would agree. Yes, it is in human nature. Without democracy, a society is nothing. Yeah, I would say so because then you're just I mean, democracy in America is already screwed because we live in a corporatocracy. But yeah, I would say agree. The government should at most provide emergency services and law enforcement. I know. I would say yeah to that because we need stuff like that in order. We need in a civilized society, your basic needs have to be off the table. Jury nullification should be illegal. I'm not entirely sure what jury nullification is. Let me actually just look it up. Nullification. And when a member of a criminal trial believe a defendant is guilty, but choose to work with the defendant on the jury consider the law itself unjust. I mean, I can see why sometimes it'd be necessary. Like, for instance, if you're stealing from a grocery store because you can't afford to put food on the table, then I think that you should not be in jail for that because that's society's fault and not yours. So I would disagree with that. In some circumstances, yes, it should be illegal. Well, actually, no, in some, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with a slight agree on that. But I can definitely see in some circumstances why it might need to be illegal. Well, let me just make sure that during all should be legal in some circumstances. Sure, animals deserve certain universal rights. Certain ones, yes. Like I'm a meat eater, so maybe I don't have any ground to speak on this. But I would say that yeah, they shouldn't and this is something that my mom talks to me about. She only buys meat products from animals that come from animals that are humanely killed. They're not put in a slaughterhouse. They're not like just treated horrendously. So I would say to a certain extent, yes. Victimless crimes should still be punished. For the most part, no. Because that's what's leading to a mass incarceration rate that we see today. Gender is a social construct, not a natural state of affairs. I think that, I definitely think that gender, how you identify with your gender is how you feel. Like I feel perfectly comfortable identifying with my birth gender, male, obviously. But obviously there are plenty of people who aren't. There are plenty of trans people, plenty of non-binary people. I feel like I would need to be a little bit more informed on this. But so I'm just going to go with neutral or unsure for right now. Authority figures, if morally correct, are a good thing for society. Yes. If they are morally correct, the problem is most of our leaders are not morally correct. So I'm just going to go with agree. Actually, I was going to do strongly agree, but drugs are harmful and should be banned. Strongly disagree. The war on drugs has destroyed America. Organizations and corporations cannot be trusted and need regulating by the government. Yes, 100%. If you've been watching my videos, you know that it's a strong agree. A person should be able to worship whomever or whatever they want. Absolutely. Freedom of religion for the win, baby. Class is the primary division of society. Yes, I agree. Because, so it is. There are plenty of people who could explain this way better than I can. The current welfare system should be expanded to combat further inequality. Yes, I agree. I've talked about it before, and I think I've talked about it before. If I haven't, then if you want me to go into more in-depth details, just leave a comment down below. Land should not be a commodity to be bought and sold. I've answered this question before, but I forgot exactly how I answered it. I think I went light disagree on this one. But at the same time, we live on stolen land, so I don't know if I can really answer it quote unquote objectively. So I'm just going to go with neutral or unsure. The death penalty should exist for certain crimes. Strongly disagree, because with the death penalty, there was a study about 7 years ago that said that 4% of the time the person on death row is wrongfully convicted. So that means that if you support the death penalty, you support murder 4% of the time, and you should be okay with murder 0% of the time. A government that provides for everyone is an inherently good idea. Yes, 100%. State schools are a bad idea because our state shouldn't be influencing our children. States, no. I strongly disagree with that. It's not like they're. Well, I think certain colleges definitely could have. I think a lot of colleges have a different direction and different ideology, but I don't think that state schools inherently are bad. So I'm going to go strongly disagree. The harder you work, the more you progress up the social ladder. In America, nope, that's not the way it works. But I would like for that to be the case more than it is. So I don't know. Is it asking you, is this how it happens, or do you agree with this idea? So I'm going to go with neutral because I don't really know what it is. Charity is a better way of helping those in need than social welfare. I've answered this question before, and it is a strong disagree. Communism is an ideal that can never work in practice. I'm going to piss off a lot of people with this, but I am not a communist. There are people who would like to claim I am. To those people, I say you have absolutely no idea about politics. Either you do, or you're just trying to piss me off. But I don't know. I feel like the idea of communism is like, I just don't support authoritarianism in general. So I feel like I don't know nearly enough about this stuff. I'm just gonna go neutral, I'm sure. Only the government can fairly and effectively regulate organizations. Yeah, I agree that if you leave them to themselves, then they're just gonna do whatever can pad their own bottom line instead of actually like looking after the public good. In times of crisis, safety becomes more important than civil liberty. In general, no. Like the Patriot Act exists, so that just is an automatic disagree. Two consenting individuals should be able to do whatever they want with each other, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Absolutely. Like, I'm demisexual, so like I don't want to like randomly have sex with somebody I just met. But if there are people out there who want to do that, that's their right to do it, as long as they're two consenting adults. Laws based on cultural values rather than ethical ones aren't justice. Yeah, I would mostly agree with that. Homosexuality is against my values. Strongly disagree. Freedom of business is the best practical way a society can prosper. Disagree. Sometimes it is right that the government may spy on its citizens to combat extremists and terrorists. Strongly disagree. Patriot Act does not stop terrorist attacks. Taxation of the wealthy is a bad idea. Society would be better off without it. No, strongly disagree. Increase that crap. The government should be less involved in the day-to-day life of its citizens. Well, if you mean in terms of like, in some ways, yes, in some ways, no. Like, I think that the government should again, like I support stuff like Medicare for all and stuff like that. But I mean, in terms of social issues, yeah, it should kind of be live and let live. So I'm going to go neutral, unsure. The smaller the government, the freer the people. Not inherently. Economic inequality is too high in the world. Yes, like this is like a no duh position. The police was not made to protect the people, but to uphold the status quo by force. I think in many ways this is correct. Like we're seeing it constantly everywhere. So I would say agree. Wages are always fair. As employers know what a worker's labor is worth. Strongly disagree. You cannot be defined by, if your worth is defined by how much you make, then that is not good. Strength is necessary for any government to succeed. Not inherently, because the U.S. is a very strength-heavy country because we have like the biggest military in the world and we offensively invade countries. I wouldn't call that a success, so I'm going to disagree. One cannot be moral without religion. Given I am agnostic, I am going to strongly disagree. Wait, let's make sure I read one cannot be moral without religion. Strongly disagree with that. Autonomy of the body extends to minors, the mentally ill, and serious criminals. If that makes sense, like, man, I am so right. Independence, yeah. You know what? It should, because if you believe in, if you believe a right should be universal, then you should believe in this. Mandatory ID should be used to ensure public safety. I feel like if you're just going to mandate them without like going through like without addressing inequalities and like the process of getting an ID and how it hurts low income people, I'm going to go with neutral, unsure. All industry and the bank should be nationalized. Not all industries. I believe firmly that the health industry and like the pharmaceutical industry, I believe firmly that crap should be nationalized, but not every single industry. So I'm going to go neutral. Well, since it's saying all industry, I'm going to go disagree. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Strongly disagree. Because if you start compromising some of your liberties, it's not going to end there. Parents should hold absolute power over their children as they are older and more experienced. Absolute power, well, yeah, but at the same time, they should try to like let their kids know. Like they should. I feel like the kids, having been on the receiving end of it, but I've been on like the kids end of it. I think they should definitely like have. I think the kids like. I don't know how to explain it, so I'm just gonna go neutral on sure. Nudism is perfectly natural. I mean, sure, if you want to be nude, honestly, like I don't know. Transgender individuals should not be able to adopt children. Strongly disagree. That's transphobic as hell right there. Exploitation is an outdated term as the struggles of 1800s capitalism doesn't exist anymore. I disagree. Multiculturalism is bad. No, I wouldn't say so. Did you complete this test in a serious or at least ironic manner? Yes. And I'd like to anonymously help with the ideology assessment. Okay, let me see what that is. How do I classify myself as? Libertarian left. If you guys saw my political compass test, you would know that. Authoritarian, rightist. I didn't even know that was a word. Centrist, leftist. You know that. How do you view myself on culture? Progressive. How do I view myself on economics? Left. On authority? Libertarian. What label would you give to your ideology? I would just say leftist. I don't like to go beyond that, honestly, because I feel like if I give myself a specific label, that's just gonna like open myself up to like, oh, you're not far left enough, or you're too far left. Like, people, we have way more in common than divides us. Stop focusing on the little things that we disagree on. We can debate them, but don't let it become overbearing. And then they're male. How old am I? 19. What religion do I adhere to? Agnostic. Which region of the world do I live in? United States. Do I focus on the sciences or humanities? A little bit of both. What describes my status? I'm an employed student. What is my highest level of education? High school. Kind of environment I live in. Small town. How physically active are you? I don't know. I feel like either I do not work out on a regular basis. I'm active, but don't actually work out. I go outside only out of necessity. I think I'm this right there. All right, let's do it. Oh, I'm surprised I'm not as libertarian, but I mean, I figured I would be libertarian, but I did not expect that is not as libertarian as I thought it would be. I'll be honest. But yeah. All right. And I'm pretty progressive. Yeah, that's not a surprise at all. Not a surprise that I'm as left as I am. Really only the surprise is that I'm not more libertarian, but I mean, it's the same quadrant as political compass, and it wasn't as many questions, so maybe that has something to do with it. All right, well, this was fun taking this test. If you want to take it for yourself, I'll leave a link down below. If you want to check out me taking some more political compass tests, click the link right over here, or you can check out my last video right over here. Like and subscribe if you like what you see here, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace, everybody.